back to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live for the Club 73 Touring Car Championship presented by World League Sim Racing. We are here at Summit Point, the United States once more. Andrew Woodhouse with you, James Nash on the cameras, and yeah, we're going to bring you two races tonight. One's 15 minutes, one is half an hour. It's mixed class racing, of course, the Volkswagen Jetta and the Kia Optima. Well, two classes for you. And looking forward to some exciting racing as usual. We'll take you through the championship standings then, ahead of this race meeting. Michael Hall leads the way by only 2 points over Pete Harrod. And then it's Lewis Bibby in third, Mark Woodhouse fourth, Chris Wood in fifth, Scott Malcolm sixth, Neil Rock seventh, Ben Axon eighth, Sam Reed in ninth, and Clinton Bell is in 10th. In the Tier Pro standings, so that's like Tier 2 from the old club series, Dale Green 366 points, Chris Sherburn 349, then John Roberts is a fair way back, then Andrew Whitehead, Stuart Atkinson and Ian Roskell rounds out the top 6. The Jetta, Clive Lawrence leads away by 41 points over Ryan Walker, then it's Conrad Venter in third, Sean Gardner fourth, Tim Mawson in fifth, Adam Hedgecock sixth, Steve Hooper 7, Miguel Freitas in 8th, Dennis Melch at ninth, and Dan Gunfield in 10th. In the Teams Championship in the Jetta, Team Mad lead the way with 867 points, 24 ahead of CST Pro. Then it's Club 73 Racing in third, GBR 2 Auto Play in fourth, Brit Modeler in fifth, Boosted Motorsport in sixth, and Automech in 7th. And in the Jetta, Team Cheese and Wine leading the way for Apex Racing UK, and the Merlot team, 843 points ahead of Team Mad, 8 points clear. Then it's Team Cheese and Wine, the Cheddar outfit in third, with 824, Team Powerslide in fourth, Club 73 Developments in fifth, AOD Racing in sixth, Powerslide Motorsport in 7th, Royal Racing 8th, Gaming XP TV in 9th, and AOD Racing have no points. I'm not sure if they've even competed this season. They are on the list, however. Right, Summit Point, it's tight, it's twisty. We were here the other night, of course, for the BSR Series, the Porsche Cup, and the BSR Touring Cars. Okay then, qualifying is pretty much done and dusted. We've got a few cars just on their flying lap still. Anybody important? Is Chris Wood, is he pushing out there? I think he is, so he might be one to watch. Andrew Whitehead is out there as well in the boosted car. He's a former winner around here in 2014. Maybe 15 in fact. Season 7 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. And over the line he comes. Does he improve? He does. He improves by 0.3 of a second and gains no places. That's just unlucky, really. Chris Wood did come across, but no time set. Adam Hedgecock 122.033. That's not anywhere near his best. Pete Harrod's just gone 4th though, on a 13.3. Nice improvement for Harrod. And the first race cost 15 minutes, so we'll see about, what, 12 laps, something like that. Differences between the two classes is about 7 seconds, so it's going to be interesting to see how quickly the Kias are going to come up on traffic. And how the Jettas deal with being lapped, because that is the main key in this series. And well, we've seen it all season, haven't we? And we saw it in season 1 as well. Michael Hall, reigning champion of the Jetta, and Hackison, reigning champion of the Kia Optima. And Hackison is on pole here today. Stuart McFadden is 2nd, Michael Hall 3rd, Pete Harrod 4th, Chris Wood in 5th, Sam Reed 6th, 7th. Clinton Bell, 8th Lewis Bibby, 9th Mark Woodhouse, 10th Scott Malcolm, Jason Rowe is 11th and John Roberts is 12th, Andrew Whitehead 13th ahead of Kip Stevens, Stuart Atkinson 15th, Dale Green 16th, Chris Sherburn 17th, and Neil Rocks rounds out the Kia field. In the Jetta then, Alexis Molina takes the pole in this very highly fought class ahead of Miguel Freitas, Dennis Melcher at P3, Ryan Walker in 4th, Conrad Venter 5th, Ian Robson 6th, Adam Hedgecock 7th, Clive Lawrence in 8th, Championship leader, Tim Mawson in 9th, Sean Gardner 10th, James Leggett 11th, Chris White 12th, Dan Gunfield 13th, Steve Hooper in 14th, ahead of Robert Lundgren. We saw him in the V8s last night. Hope he's feeling a bit better than he was. Nicholas Rotti behind him, and Brian Levitt, David Ayres, Eddie King, and Ian King. And then I went through that grid quickly. We've still got 40 seconds to fill. Have a look then. Who's going to be the ones to watch? Well, I think you've got to look out for, aside from the ones on the front row, I think you've got to look out for Pete Harrod and Lewis Bibby. Bibby always races better than he qualifies, so we'll see what he can do from 8th on the grid. It's difficult to overtake round here, so we may see a little bit of crash and bash in the first couple of corners. Maybe throughout the race. Turn 1's a very good overtaking opportunity, but really it's the only very good opportunity on the course. You may be able to get away with one to the hairpin at turn 4, but here we go then. Revs are rising, we're ready for the start, and the Club 73 Touring Car Championship is underway from Summit Point. Good start by Hackerson. McFadden slots in behind him, side by side between Hall and Harrod, behind two CQR teammates, of course, in the regular PSRTC, and Hall going through on McFadden. Hall and Hackerson had some issues in the touring car race the other night, so we'll see if they manifest themselves once more in this series. Good start though, clean start it looks like. Let's see how the Jetters get on then. Through turn 2, side by side, two cheese and wine machines. That's Conrad Venter getting through on Ryan Walker. It's been a bad start for Clive Lawrence, the championship leader. He's lost a couple of places. He's the 4th of those 4 yellow and black and white cheese and wine machines. Behind them is Chris White. Oh, and there's a crash. Jason Rowe's been off at the hairpin. I'm not sure what's happened to him, but he must have been hit. Oh, and someone else. Oh, wow. There's just panned to the right and seen the carnage in front of me. 4 Jetters off. David Ayres was one. Sean Gardner, Nicholas Rotti, and yeah, there was a couple more in there as well I didn't even see. So the Kia's behaving themselves for a change. The Jetters are the ones that are getting involved in the contact. And Hackerson then, reigning champion, streaks away at the front. Already clear of Michael Hall by 0.6 of a second. Hall, though, is a fast charger. He knows that he has to stay with Hackerson, not let him get away. Stuart McFadden's in 3rd. Very improved driver recently. Pete Harrod in 4th. In 2017, Harrod seems to have a new lease of life. Seems to be rejuvenated and going quicker than ever before. He's even at the front of BSRTC races, the former 2 times Club Series champion. Of course, most of this field used to make up the old Kia Club Series. I've raced against nearly all of them, one shape or form. They've been racing each other now for quite a few seasons, most of these guys. They know exactly what to expect. Alexis Molina's made a terrific start then. He took pole position and he is trying to stretch the lead out over Dennis Melcher. Melcher, who would have took the title in season 1 if it wasn't for the mess up with the car selection. iRacing decided to give him a Kia Optima for some reason. And the team took had great hysterics over that one. Good fun. Not for Melcher, who lost the title, but he was coming back and trying to win this one. See if he can make amends for what happened in the first season. Jason Rowe not happy with being taken out. I'm not surprised really, because nobody likes to be out on lap 1. I didn't even see really what happened to him, but I would assume he was. I would assume he was whacked off at the hairpin. Said it was whacking day earlier on Apex Racing TV. Someone will probably post a Simpsons meme on the official league's chat later on. As close battle here then between Scott Malcolm, John Roberts, Kip Stevens. Rivals from multiple leagues. They've raced against each other many times. Malcolm and Roberts. Roberts trying then to make inroads on the Scotsman. Right in the slipstream, tucked hard into the toe of the Automech car. He goes inside to Roberts. Quite get the overlap. Malcolm all the way around the outside. He's nearly in the grass, and that's going to cost him. Loses a little bit of momentum on the way out. Roberts is there. Stevens is looking as well. You can't. Stevens, it might be quite hard for him to see exactly what's going on with those two Kia Optimas blocking his vision. Now Roberts attacking once more, tries to go through, but there's no space there. Malcolm, is he going to have to defend the inside into the hairpin? He does. Compromises to the line though. Allows Stevens to get a bit closer. Former 2 times British and Racers Touring Car Champion, also Winter Series Champion of 2017. He knows how to get it done out there, as does John Roberts, former AM champion. Scott Malcolm very nearly won Tier 2 in the final season of the Club Series, so he knows what to do in this Kia Optima. He's a veteran of many BSRTC races. Going into the Jetta, and we've got an almighty battle for the lead. We've got 5 cars really involved. Molina, Melcher, Freitas, Venter and Walker. They are the 5 you see on your screen there. So Alexis Molina driving for Powerslide Motorsports, and then 2 Team Mad cars of Melcher and Freitas. Conrad Venter desperately trying to hold on. The Apex Racing UK car. Cheese and wine. Then behind him is another one of our commentary colleagues, Ryan Walker. 5. Number 97. He's took a couple of wins this season as Walker. Conrad Venter. I don't know if he has won a race this season. I cannot remember, to be honest. He's always a contender for the top 5. Doing that here. Also races in the BSR Porsche Cup. Oh, and sideways goes Tim Mawson. Around and... oh, goodness me! Chris White, I don't know how he avoided that, but he did. Nothing really Mawson could do. In that respect, he was right in the middle of the track. He had to go one way or the other. Try and get away from the line, and White was nearly the victim. Not a great deal of slipstream in this Jetta. So let's see if Dennis Melcher can do anything into turn 1, because that could well be his best opportunity, the German. Oh, this is a good run now. If we go on board with Melcher, we'll see if he can see what he can do. He can see. Oh, he might be able to see the chance here. Is he going to go for it up the inside? Here he goes. Oh, and there's contact. They hit each other. Molina's into the grass. Melcher with a bit of a bump and run. That's a bit uncharacteristic, because he's normally very clean, is Dennis, but not on this occasion. And, well, his teammate Miguel Freitas, he's watching, and he's going to see if he can do anything about his teammate. Are they going to run 1-2 Team Mad? It would make sense at this point. Try and get some points for the Teams Championship. Brad Venter, P3. Front of the Kia is very, very close to side-by-side Hackerson and Hall. Then on the outside. Oh, which is now the inside for the left-hander. There's a car as well. A lapped car. These two did not get on particularly well on Thursday evening. Ben Hackerson and Michael Holt, the two Club 73 Touring Car Champions. Oh, a bit of contact. McFadden tries to muscle his way in on it. Harrod is looking as well. There's no way through for him. Yeah, the only men who've won the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. Ben Hackerson in the Kia. Michael Hall in the Jetta last season. Also always been very quick in the Kia as well. So here he goes then. He gets right in the slipstream of Hackerson. It'll be turn 1 for him. That is the money play. Can't get enough, or I can't get enough out of the slipstream to really force the hand of Ben Hackerson. Hackerson had to take quite a tight line in because there's the Jetta of, I think that is King. Ian King, I think. Oh wow, this King is just diving around past King, who's just bewildering when there's cars this quick going past you at that speed. Not a great deal you can do. Mark Woodhouse is the man who's been pretty patient. Trying to get past the Jetta. The Jetta's pretty decent in the corners. Lacks a bit of acceleration. It really is one line only through this middle sector. Go back to the front of the race. Oh, it's really close at the front of the Jettas as well. I think that's where we need to go. Melchett ahead of Freitas. Then it's Venter. Then Molina, and then Walker's just dropped off the back of this battle just a bit. The 1-2 for Team Mad at the moment. Venter pulling out of off the line. He's trying to find an opening on the inside. Doesn't get it. This is the part of the course which is tricky. In a front wheel drive car there really isn't any grip here. Find yourself off the line slightly. You're pretty slow through here. I've had an accident or two around there as well. But where haven't I, ladies and gentlemen? There'd be a smaller list of the ones that I haven't crashed at, to be honest. As Dennis Melcher is leading by about a second here now. Stretched it a little bit. Not a second at all, is it? It's half a second. I'm an idiot. Conrad Venter in P3. Molina in 4th. He can't do anything really about Venter. Venter's just sticking the nose on the inside, just maybe trying to affect Freitas, maybe to distract him a bit. But that might be a mistake because Molina is there and he does have a tiny overlap on the South African. Let's see if he can take advantage of it. Into turn 2, he flies up the inside. Good move by Alexis Molina. He makes it stick, and Venter, well, that's a half move, and you pay for half moves in these series. We've seen it many, many times. Go back to the very front of the race as well in the Kia Optima. It's Hackison versus Hall. We've only got about 4 minutes to go here. Maybe 3 in this first round of the evening, the Club 73 Touring Car Championship presented by World League Sim Racing. 3 minutes to go. Ben Hackison continues to lead. His team principal, Andrew Whitehead, took a win here. His only BSRTC win at this very circuit. See if Hackison can emulate him, make a win of his own. We go past number 39, Ian Robson. Robson currently lying in P8. Oh, this is very close. It's close between Harrod and McFadden. Oh, it's contact. A contact there. Not sure who that was that they barged out of the way. It looked like it was Adam Hedgecock that took the brunt of that. Just in front of Clive Lawrence, who's leading the championship at the moment. Lawrence looking to take advantage as well. He get an overlap. Hedgecock's going to have dirt on his tyres from being pushed wide. Lawrence going for it up the inside, very late on the brakes, and there's an accident in front of them as well. It looked like Clinton Bell was pushed wide, was he? Let's have a quick look at that. Oh, he just loses the car. Harrod's been off as well. All kicking off at the front. Chris Wood managed to get fourth over that. Back live then, Hackison stretching his advantage. 0.7 of a second. Oh, and Freitas, Melchett, Molina. Very, very close together, and now it's the leading Kias, and this is where this series becomes very difficult because neither class wants to give an inch, and then inches weren't given. And off into the trees goes Molina, and Ben Hackison out of the race from the lead. And it was Molina getting into Freitas, and Hackison had absolutely nowhere to go, and he looks like he is gone. Unbelievable. Really is extraordinary. I'm just saying that it's how you navigate the traffic and how the Jetters cope with being lapped, and it was, well, there were possibly errors on both sides there. Only 15 seconds to go. Will the checkered flag fall before Hall makes it to the end? It's going to be extremely close. We'll see if the checkered flag comes out now. It doesn't. There'll be one more lap for Michael Hall. One lap to go. Stuart McFadden's now inherited second. Chris Wood up to third. We mentioned Lewis Bibby as well. Bibby is in P4 and he's charging hard. Like we said he would. Pete Harrod down to fifth. Sixth is Clinton Bell. And disaster for a few of the drivers, like I said on the previous lap, but it's looking really good for Dennis Melchert now. Looking like he's going to take the win. Ryan Walker's inherited second. Conrad Venter up to third. Clive Lawrence fourth. Adam Hedgecock up into fifth. So even getting bashed out of the way by the Kias has not... oh, blown engine for McFadden. McFadden's motor has gone. On the final lap, the Scotsman cripples the Kia Optima. Can he make it back to the finish? Going to be very difficult indeed. Hall is going to win it surely. He's only got one corner to go. Around the final corner he goes. What can McFadden do? Michael Hall comes across to win it. Who's going to get second? It's going to be Chris Wood. Is it on the line? It is. McFadden with the blown engine. Does he get third? He does. Barely. Harrod in fourth. Bibby in fifth. And then Dennis Melchert wins the Mike Cooling Cup for this race at Summit Point. Ryan Walker takes second. I don't think he'd have been expecting that. And Conrad Venter in third. Clive Lawrence fourth. And Adam Hedgecock is going to come across. And is he just going to take fifth over Ian Robson? He is. What a finish to that race. Absolutely crazy stuff going on out there on the circuit. And ladies and gentlemen, well, if you ever want to see a more dramatic finish to a race than that in both classes, I think you'll find it very, very difficult to find one better than that. Absolutely amazing stuff. And that is what the Club 73 Touring Car Championship is all about. Excellent racing. And every now and again, the mixed class environment throws up a surprise. Wasn't a good one for Ben Hackison, but Michael Hall will be loving the outcome of that one. He takes the win then by 2.2 seconds over Chris Wood. Stuart McFadden was third, Pete Harrod fourth, fifth Lewis Bibby, sixth Clinton Bell, seventh for Sam Reed and Mark Woodhouse in eighth, Kip Stevens ninth, John Roberts 10th. Scott Malcolm was 11th and Stuart Atkinson 12th, 13th Andrew Whitehead, 14th Chris Sherburn, 15th Dale Green, and 16th was Neil Rocks. Dennis Melchert finishes in 17th overall, but that's not important. What's important is he was the first VW Jetta across the line. He takes the Mike Cooling Cup. And Brian Walker in second. Third, Conrad Venter. Fourth, Clive Lawrence. Fifth, Adam Hedgecock. Sixth overall in the Jetta class and 22nd in the race, Ian Robson. 23rd, Steve Hooper. 24th, Dan Gunfield. 25th, Tim Mawson. 26th, Robert Lundgren. David Ayres in 27th. Jason Rowe managed to finish 28th in the end, one lap down after the collision at the hairpin on the first lap. Ian King was 29th, 30th was Chris White. Nicholas Rotti was in 31st. Then in 32nd was Sean Gardner. 33rd was Miguel Freitas. 34th in the end, Ben Hackison. Race leader, reigning champion. but in the trees and out. James Leggett, 35th, 36th, Alexis Molina, and he met the same fate. AD King, 37th. He retired after just a few laps, and Brian Levitt didn't get very far at all. Well, what a race! What an interesting race it was, even before the accidents and the controversy at the end. But well, that's what makes touring car racing. That's what makes mixed class racing. You never quite know what's going to happen, and at any given moment, something crazy could happen. Well, that's race one done for the night, but we've still got another one to come. We've still got the 30-minute feature race, and well, if it's anything like as good as that one, then we're sure to be in for a treat. Join us again just after this break or more from the Club 73 Touring Car Championship here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
From far away they came to us with knowledge.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Summit Point for the feature race. Tonight's meeting in the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. It's presented by World League Sim Racing, live on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. Andrew Woodhouse with you. And James Nash is our director for the evening. And he's going to be a busy man, judging by what happened in race one. When all hell broke loose at the end of it, it was interesting to watch. It was great to watch for us and for the viewers at home, no doubt. But yeah, it wasn't so great for Ben Hackerson, who got up in a collision with the leaders of the Jester class. And that not only allowed Michael Hall to win, but it also allowed Dennis Melcher to go away and take victory in the Mike Cooling Cup category. Well, it's a new day. Well, it's not a new day, it's a new race. It's a new start, it's a fresh start for all these drivers, and I'll be hoping that this 30-minute race goes as planned. I do need to find out just before we start the race, actually. That's one thing I hadn't checked, is whether the pit stops are back to normal or not? Don't know either. Yeah, I think we're still going for the. I still think we're going to have the straight 30 minutes without a pit stop. So slightly unfortunate, but hopefully we can. Hopefully that'll be sorted for the next time that we're live here on Apex Racing TV. Right then, warm up is over, and we'll be heading down to the grid in just a moment. I'll try and give you most of the grid if I can. Stuart McFadden is on pole position, ahead of Kip Stevens with Stuart Atkinson third, Jason Rowe fourth, Clinton Bell in fifth, and Andrew Whitehead in sixth. John Roberts is seventh, Sam Reed eighth, Ben Haxon ninth, and Chris Sherburn in 10th, Neil Rocks 11th, then Scott Malcolm in 12th, Dale Green 13th, 14th Chris Wood, 15th Mark Woodhouse, 16th Lewis Bibby, 17th Pete Harrod, and 18th race 1 winner Michael Hall. David Ayres on pole for the Jetters ahead of Ian King, Ian Robson, AD King, then James Leggett 23rd, Alexis Molina 24th, Lundgren 25th, White 26th, Gunfield 27th, Melch at 28th, 29th Freitas, 30th Hooper, 31st Hedgecock, 32nd Mawson, then Sean Garner 33rd, Conrad Venter 34th, Ryan Walker 35th, 36th Clive Lawrence, and Nicholas Roti at the back in 37. Here we go!
Green, green, green.
Alright, the green light is on now. Good start by McFadden. Great start by... What is that? Whitehead is on the grass. I wonder if he jumped the start. It was so good. To the inside of his teammate, Stuart Atkinson. He'll have to give him space. Whitehead now on Jason Rowe. Rowe was already crashed off once. Not a lot of room there. Let's have a look and see what the Jetters are doing. It's David Ayres that is away at the front. He's got a good advantage over AD King. Then it's James Leggett. Chris Wood is out, I'm being told. Oh, and he's over. He's on his side. And that's definitely out. He's trying to get it down. Oh, is he good? Does he have it? Oh, and his self-righting mechanism worked, but unfortunately it ended up on the tyre wall and immobilised. Right. Who's over at the hairpin? I didn't... Somebody else was in a lot of bother as well. And Kip Stevens has took the lead here. Oh, he took the lead from Stuart McFadden. McFadden battles back. Stevens almost quarter panels him. If you get quarter panel here, you will end up in the trees. We don't want to see that again. Stevens on the attack. He's done really well in reverse grid races over the years, as well as Kip. Late on the brakes, McFadden has to defend the line. He blocks off Stevens like a motorcycle pass. Holds the line and then just blocks the apex off. Dare we say a little bit Nico Rosberg from 2016. Oh! Jason Rowe sideways, he saves it well. He's going to be under a lot of pressure from Stuart Atkinson. In towards the hairpin. Who's that trying to go around the outside? It looks like Hackerson trying to go around the outside of Whitehead. Clinton Bell's in there as well. It's pretty neat and tidy though for most of the Kias. David Ayres continues to lead though. This is a great start for him. Perfect way to start this 30-minute race. He's on pole, took the lead, and where he stayed. Almighty battle going on behind them. Look at this here. Dennis Melcher on back. Melcher, Freitas, King, Mawson, Gunfield, and then the rest. All in a big line. And there's a slowdown for one of the Kias. That's Chris Wood, who's got to slow down to let the Jetters through. Just go right past on the exit here, you would think. And he does. So David Ayres continues to lead. James Leggett in second. Third is AD King. And then it's Chris White, ahead of Alexis Molina. Good experience for AD King. He's fighting at the front of the race with these gentlemen who are experienced. White trying to go down the inside. All locked up, but it worked. Moved by him. That's P3 for Chris White. Alexis Molina now trying to make his way through. A good exit out of the second to last corner. King defend the line, he doesn't. Molina has to stay behind to the final corner. I wonder if Molina's going to get the run out of there. Close at the front as well. Look at Leggett. Leggett having a look on David Ayres for the lead. Right in the slipstream. Where's David Ayres going to go? Is he going to defend the inside? He sort of defends the middle. Leggett! Was he breaking on the grass? Maybe a tiny bit. They go the long way round. He's got a good exit. Maybe he does the... Oh, he couldn't get the cut back to work. Or does it? Is it going to work? It might still work because he's left the door open as Ayres. And Leggett walks right through and says, thank you very much. That might be that. In terms of that battle. Whitehead is in the wall. What's happened there? Andrew Whitehead is out. He's on top of the wall. It was with number 24, Sam Reed. To the fence he goes. Reed carries on. Whitehead beached. And he has to go back to the pits. Get his fast repair. James Leggett in the lead, David Ayres second, and the Jetters, Chris White third. Fourth is Alexis Molina, fifth Dennis Melchett, sixth is Miguel Freitas, Adi King is seventh, and Tim Mawson in eighth. They've got a big gap. Good 4 or 5 seconds. As it's getting tight at the front, David Ayres trying to fight back. Number 377, Chris White, having a little look on the inside. Gets the drive out of the corner, well does Molina behind. Molina might be able to surprise Chris White here. Up the inside. Oh, White gets a great drive off the corner though. Does very well to maintain it. And look at Melchett. Melchett, who took race 1, he bounces off the curb. He's extremely late on the brakes. Trying to go around the outside, which is almost impossible, or is it? Has he made the impossible possible, Dennis Melchett? Got a great drive off the corner. Fantastic traction. Oh! Almost gets quarter panelled by Molina. Great work by Melchett. Super passing move. And he's up into 4th position. Take that, he says. That's a great pass. Very, very fast driver, Molina. Well, he's made a bit of a mess of the last corner. Molina, very, very close. He's right in the slipstream. Spain versus Germany then. Going to come out on top. Oh, they collide. Melchett pushes Molina wide. I wonder if Freitas is going to have a go now, as he now has a sniff of taking 5th place. Not alongside though, so I don't think he can get anything done. At the front of the Kias then, Stuart McFadden leading by 1 second from Kip Stevens. These two are clear. Stuart Atkinson was in 3rd. What's happened to Stuart? He's now behind pretty much this whole entire train. Andrew Whitehead's back out, he's a lap down. Now Ben Hackerson, who's taken 3rd place. Jason Rowe is in 4th. And 5th is Clinton Bell. 6th is Lewis Bibby. And Neil Rocks is 7th. And down to 8th is Atkinson. So I don't know what happened to Stuart. Who, this is the last time I'm going to mention this, but Atkinson, who was the culprit of probably the worst start in the history of motor racing in the touring cars on Thursday night. He had the front 4 positions of the grid to himself. And he still didn't get into the first corner first. Never seen anything like it, but I'm sure he'll learn from that. I'm sure he'll do better next time. David Ayres fighting back, looking for the lead here. What a lunge. Oh, it's gone wide. And look at this freight train. Oh man, he nearly hits Freitas. Leggett versus White then. Leggett's on the grass. The Kunstvoller car. Oh, it's wide as well. Wide as well. He may lose out to Melchett here. Melchett side by side. Melchett is wide. He's almost on the grass. Squeaky bum time for Dennis. Oh, in contact with White. And Melchett's on the grass. And he needs to avoid his teammate. He has done. And now he's getting passed by 3 more cars. Ayres. Oh. Kip Stevens is into the lead of the queue. What's happened to Stuart McFadden? Was it a mistake to this technical section? Oh, it was a mistake out of... Where was it? See it. Oh, it was into turn 1. McFadden's lapping the Jetta. Goes very deep into the corner. Misses the corner altogether. Kip Stevens goes through and takes the lead. It's always crazy with the Jettas. Molina. And Molina is now up into 3rd, although Freitas wants a piece of this as well. Molina's already been bumped and bashed around by the Team Mad cars, but this time he stays in front. James Leggett still leads at the front. I mean, where else is he going to lead? That's where the leader is, isn't he, at the front? As Chris White in 2nd, Leggett. David Ayres is out of the race, is he? Hard into the wall. May not be out of the race, but he's definitely out of the running. Oh, bang! Loses the car down the hill. Into the tyre wall he goes. And can he make it back onto the track? The answer is no. He's gone into the pits. He'll get a fast tow, he'll get a fast repair, but he'll lose a hell of a lot of places. Look at this still going on. The Jettas, and this might allow James Leggett to get a little bit of a head start. And look at the Team Mad cars. Bit of bump drafting down this long front straight there. Melchett and Freitas going through on Chris White. Door was wide open there. It was wide enough for 2 VW Jettas. I think James Leggett is a quick driver in this car, but his only hope for me is if these guys start battling, and I think he really needs Dennis Melchett to do him a favour here. Get in and amongst Alexis Molina again, because they've just got about that half a second a lap on Leggett. See if he can make the difference. And look, they've just gained that half a second just in that middle sector as Leggett just goes a little bit wide at the hairpin. Going on in the background, I can see a big train of Kias going through that middle sector. It begins with Ben Hackerson. Got some Jettas in there as well, which I missed. Venter and Lundgren. Lewis Bibby's in there, and he's very close with Jason Rowe. Chris Rowe's going to try and get back to his teammate here. It's probably might be a tall order. See what he can do. He's pulling out the slipstream. He may have a go here on Bibby. Oh, what's that behind? That's Atkinson Hall and Jettas and Atkinson off, and that's a long way around. Oh, it's an awful place to go off that. Just grass, just sends you so wide and takes you so long to get back on the track. Back on behind Woodhouse, and Atkinson must be getting sick of the sight of Summit Point, to be honest. Oh, and contact between Harrod and Malcolm. Coming through turn 1. Oh no, Woodhouse is on the grass. It is all kicking off here, and that is no understatement. as Pete Harrod hits Scott Malcolm. That was at the hairpin. That's me. Have a look at the front of the Jetta. Oh, here we go then. Kia leaders, Jetta leaders in each other's slipstream. Stevens needs to defend the inside, surely, and he hasn't. Late on the brakes. McFadden's surely going to try and block him off again as he did the first time. Stevens has got a great traction out of the corner. Oh, he's almost with McFadden still. He's alongside. Can he go the inside? He's going to try. Oh, big lunge. McFadden braves it around the outside. Good driving from both men. Sorted that one out very nicely indeed. Look at these Jettas. There's 4 of them in a pack, and you've also got Lewis Bibby and Jason Rowe battling away in the Kias, and Freitas and Molina nearly coming to blows through turn 3. Very difficult to know where to look. There's so much going on here as is usual with the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. Thank you for joining us here on this Sunday evening. Andrew Woodhouse and James Nash bringing you Club 73 Touring Cars, presented by World League Sim Racing on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. Fantastic scraps in both categories here. The Kia Optima, the VW Jetta, going for everything here. James Leggett desperately trying to hang on to this lead. He doesn't want to get boxed in. He wants to use the Kia for some slipstream. Another one coming. It's like pulling out of the fast lane on the motorway. Michael Hall up the inside. Oh, and Freitas forces his way past Leggett. What can Leggett do? Oh, Whitehead flashes past. And Neil Rocks up the inside as well. And that's right in the way of Leggett. And now there's Atkinson and Woodhouse. Woodhouse is off. Here we go. Can he stop it? He can. He's about the first one this week that's managed to stop that, and they've gone on the grass. Pete Harrod has a little pickle on James Leggett. Man, this is crazy. Absolutely crazy out here in Club 73 Touring Cars. Still the battle for the lead rages, and Kip Stevens has got the lead back on this lap from Stuart McFadden. Don't know how he did it, we didn't see it on the screen. But it's the veteran into the lead again. Ahead of the young man McFadden, who's improving all the time, as we said. Looks like Kip Stevens is improving all the time as well, when you consider that he looking very, very quick in this race. Doesn't always have the outright speed, but it seems like when he has the chance to win, it seems like it's turned up. Speed's turned up to 11. So Miguel Freitas leads the VW Jetta categories, throwing stones in the way of James Leggett. Leggett's got Chris Sherburn trying to come through on him. Freitas hits the curb very, very hard. Once more, he just ekes out a little bit more of an advantage. Trying his best to get through, trying his best to take a win, which will be so valuable to his championship challenge. Where are the cheese and wine cars? Well, it's not been a great race for them. Tim Mawson's the highest placed one in 5th. Stevens and McFadden again going at it in turn 1. Stevens on the inside, McFadden on the outside. He's in the dirty stuff, he's on the grass. And that allows Stevens a free ride into the lead. Amazing stuff, back and forth action. England versus Scotland. Oh, and McFadden round the outside. Could be fantastic if he makes it work. He hits Stevens. Stevens is on the grass. Punted out of the lead. McFadden, it was a great move, but then it just ended up being too much. Couldn't turn it into the right-hander particularly well. And he punts Kip Stevens off the track. This puts Ben Hackerson into play as well. It brings him back into the equation. He was 1.9 seconds off the lead in the previous lap. Now, well, you can see the gap for yourself. It's only 0.6 of a second. Lewis Bibby's not particularly out of this either. Oh, Clinton Bell in 4th. Battle behind them between Pete Harrod and Neil Rocks. They used to race together in the Kia Club Series for a few seasons. Rocks versus Harrod. Harrod down the inside. A very clean car, Pete Harrod. I wonder how long that's going to last because he's got this marauding group of misfits behind Stuart Atkinson, Mark Woodhouse, John Roberts. It's brilliant racing. It really is fantastic in this series every single week, but even better tonight. Miguel Freitas is pulling out a little bit of an advantage in the Jetters ahead of James Leggett. Alexis Molina is now closing in on the British driver. Dennis Melcher in 4th. We're just talking about cheese and wine. Tim Mawson, the highest placed one of those Apex Racing UK cars, in P5. Then it's Conrad Venter in 10th position. Clive Lawrence is only 13th. Back to the front of the race. And that's the Tête de la Course. And Stuart McFadden using his net very well at the moment to stay ahead of Ben Hackerson. Hackerson has so much pace around this circuit. We saw it in the first race. Leading it was most likely going to win it. Clashed with some Jetters. They were clashing. That cost him a lot of points, but he's not letting that phase him because he's coming back and he's looking to try and make amends in the best style possible, and that's to take race 2 victory. What an amazing battle these two are having. Here we go. McFadden moves across. He defends the inside line into turn 2. Got about 10 minutes to go in this race. 8.5 minutes to go in this race. Can't even count, it's that exciting. McFadden crossed the line then. 0.04 seconds ahead, and Hackerson uses amazing straight line speed to go right up the middle. McFadden defends the inside. Look just behind them that Kip Stevens is not done yet in this fight. He's not done yet in this brilliant race. It's epic. McFadden still continues to hold the lead. He has to cut across Hackerson. Through turn 3. Into the hairpin at 4. Pretty much single file for these guys now. At least for the next couple of corners. Do this sweeping section at 6, 7 and 8. And it's been a good lap for McFadden. He really has edged that out, hasn't he? To under 1 second, but we'll see what Hackerson can do as he comes through the final corner. It's a nice line. McFadden runs wide into the gravel. It wouldn't have slowed him too much. Doesn't want to do that too often. There is no incident limit. Points will be taken if you get too many incidents. For once, it's quite calm between these front 3 into the first. James Leggett, sorry fella. James Leggett going through into second place. He's just got back on Alexis Molina. Dennis Melchert's in there as well, and this is allowing Tim Mawson to get closer. Trying his best to trying his very, very best to get involved in the action. And that is number 24, Sam Reed. Almost causing a little bit of trouble for these VWs. What a fantastic race. Leggett, Molina, now Mawson is trying to come through on Dennis Melcher. Up the inside goes the Englishman. He might get two in one go. He does. Tim Mawson into third position. In the blink of an eye, he was fifth, and he was not even attached to this group a couple of laps ago. Melcher's still there though. He's going up the inside. He's trying to get the position back. Mawson wrestling it around the outside. He's through the gravel. Great fight back by Melcher. He had to do that quickly. Mawson's looking up the inside. He thinks better of it. Mawson, the iRacing veteran. A lot of experience in many, many different cars. This one he seems to enjoy. Seems to get good results in. Great run by Molina, who'd made a mess of turn one, of course, on the previous lap. He goes through, trying to go through on Mawson again. Is he going to dive? Going to dive through on the inside in the last corner. No, he doesn't. There are 5 minutes left then here in this feature race in the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. Live here on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, and Alexis Molina. Oh, Mawson hits Melcher. Melcher hits the curb hard, but ironically it kind of pulled his car around that first corner. Hackerson and McFadden, by the way, the previous lap was 0.001 seconds apart, and 1,000th of a second separated them. Oh, now they're even closer, they're making contact. Who's going to take this brilliant race? Oh man, the three wide into turn two. McFadden's line was terrible through turn two. Kip Stevens is on the grass trying to get past. It's unreal. Absolute madness in this second race. Who's going to take it then? We've got great battles in both classes. Miguel Freitas looks like he's going to take the win in the Jettas. He's just got about, 4 minutes to go before he takes the checkered flag. It's about the battle for second in that category, really. Leggett, Melcher, Mawson, Molina. Steve Hooper's not too far behind. He might be able to pick up some pieces. If there's any incidents in the last couple of laps. Hackerson really pushing McFadden down the main straightaway here. McFadden very late on the brakes. Oh, Hackerson just nudges him. He misjudges the cutback slightly. Who is going to be victorious here? Is it going to be Stuart McFadden? Is it going to be Ben Hackerson? Hackerson, some would say, would deserve the win, as he was primed to take the first one of the evening, but McFadden's car twitching as it goes over the bumps and the curbs, on the way towards the hairpin. Kip Stevens is not going away. He knows more than anybody how to win these reverse grid races. He's done it many times before. Recently as, well, a few months ago. There are just 3 men in with a shout here. Maybe 2 or maybe 3 laps to go. It's going to be tight. Going to be 2 laps to go. They're coming up to this group again, aren't they? They're coming up to the group of Jetta leaders. Or at least the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th place battle. Still going on between Molina and Mawson. Behind them, Hooper and Gardner. They're very close together. Now, this is crucial, absolutely crucial for both classes. This bit of patience is needed, but there isn't really time to be patient at this point in the race. It's going to be very interesting. Stevens gets blocked off behind David Ayres. Oh, and he can't get through Stevens. I think that's done him. I think he's out for the win, unless there's something goes wrong with the front two now. McFadden's had a great lap. He's really pushed home the advantage. And now he's got a car between himself and Benjamin Hackison. Will probably be, in all likelihood, the final lap. Only 30 seconds to go. We will see the checkered flag at the end of this one then. Oh, Molina going wide again at turn one. That might be his only weakness in this race. Leggett versus Melcher as well. Oh, and Hackison makes a mistake. Dives up the inside, almost makes contact with Leggett. That might allow Stevens back in on his rear end. Pretty much freed up McFadden though. Stuart McFadden. Less than half a lap away now from glory. He's just got these last 3 corners to go. Well, what a race it's been. Stuart McFadden was on pole position. You know what they say about pole positioning in reverse grid races, it normally just doesn't work. But this time it's worked in spectacular style and glorious fashion for Stuart McFadden. What a race. Ben Hackison second, Kip Stevens in third. Let's have a look at the Jetters. Miguel Freitas just comes across just about the same time. He takes the win. In the Jetta category, who's going to get second overall? It was Leggett ahead of Melcher. Molina behind Tim Mawson in the end. What a fantastic race that was. That was one of my favourites I've done all year, and we've done a lot here on Apex Racing TV. Don't think you can point out a better one to me than that. That was very good. Lead changes in both categories. Several different leaders even in the Jettas. And a fantastic scrap at the front in both the categories. Let me take you through then the finishing order of an absolutely breathless round in the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. Stuart McFadden it is who takes the win from pole position. Second was Ben Hackison, third Kip Stevens, fourth Lewis Bibby, fifth Michael Hall, sixth was Clinton Bell, seventh was Pete Harrod, eighth Jason Rowe, Mark Woodhouse in ninth. John Roberts rounds out the top 10. Stuart Atkinson is 11th, with Neil Rocks 12th, Dale Green 13th, 14th for Scott Malcolm, 15th Chris Sherburn, 16th Sam Reed, lap down in 17th. We saw him rolled over at the hairpin. Chris Wood, Miguel Freitas 18th, but more importantly winning the Jetta category, winning the Mike Cooling Cup class. James Leggett, I think he'll be really pleased with second place. I think that was one of his best results, one of his best races that I've ever seen him drive. Dennis Melcher in third, Tim Mawson fourth, ahead of Alexis Molina. Mawson did very well actually to catch up to that pack, and Molina just a little bit unlucky, you sense, but a couple of little mistakes cost him. Steve Hooper in sixth, 23rd overall, Sean Gardner 24th, Conrad Venter 25th, Chris White in 26th. 27th for Adam Hedgecock, 28th for Clive Lawrence. It's been a pretty anonymous meeting for him tonight. The man who was leading the championship coming into it. Robert Lundgren 29th, 30th Nicholas Roti, 31st Ian Robson, 32nd Ryan Walker, Dan Gunfield 33rd, Eddie King 34th, David Ayres 35th, Andrew Whitehead retired 36th place, and Ian King was 37th and didn't finish either. Well, what an absolutely brilliant race, absolutely fantastic, and yeah, it really was a wonderful spectacle, and I really hope everybody enjoyed that at home. As I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So that was great. Right. I'm going to give it a minute or so and just see if we have any drivers for the interview. We've got Brian Walker, actually. And we'll see if he wants to have a quick word with us. Ryan Walker joins us in the commentary box, our colleague here at Apex Racing TV. Tables have turned this time, my friend. You're the interviewee this time.
Yeah, that's it feels a bit weird.
How did you get on then anyway? The first race was very, very good, and I would think that even you were surprised to finish second in the end.
Yeah, it was a bit. Race 1 was a bit strange. I just went into race 1 with the plan of just finishing and scoring as many points as possible, and decided to let my teammate Conrad by at the start because he was slightly quicker than me and keeping up with the leaders. And I think it was a good decision that I made. A good decision that I made at the time because I was watching the top 3 go at it like crazy. And then I think it was with maybe 2 laps to go or 2 minutes to go. I can't remember exactly. I think it was Miguel and someone else who got caught up, and they ended up taking each other out. And yeah, that luckily allowed me through to take P2 and to get a good result. And it was also good to see my teammates Clive and Conrad get a good result in race 1 with P3 and P4.
Race 2 then didn't seem to go quite as planned. Take us through what happened there.
I kind of decided to back off at the start and just basically settle down, but after a couple of laps I figured out that I had to try and pass as many people as possible, and I think I went to go up the inside of Adam Hedgecock, I think it was, and ended up making some contact and got a meatball, I'll rephrase my words, meatball flag, and had to fit and get a fast repair. And from then on it was just a case of just trying to salvage our result and score some points. And I have to apologise with Adam for the contact at the start.
Well, I still think it was a pretty productive meeting for you. 2 finishes in the points and of course a podium. Well, is there anybody who you want to say a quick shout out to or give thanks to for anything this week?
Big shout out has to go to the Team Cheese and Wine guys for helping me out, helping me adapt to the Jetta. I mean, I'll admit that front wheel drive cars are not really my forte, but they've been a massive help in helping me getting adapted to the car. And yeah, most of the results that I've been getting in the Jetta this season so far has been down to them. And also shout out to Apex Racing TV and Apex Racing UK. And Cheese and Wine, of course.
Of course. And you know, they'll send you those free free samples one day, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
Hey, thanks mate, and I'm sure we'll speak to you soon.
Alright, thanks guys, thanks for having me.
Cheers, Ryan. Ryan Walker then of Team Cheese and Wine. Doesn't look like actually we've got anybody else waiting. So, well, on to paraphrase famous motoring journalists, on that bombshell, I think it's time to end. Thanks everybody for watching. It's been a fantastic evening's race and I've really enjoyed it. We had a great IMSA race earlier on and I think this one has just topped it. 2 fantastic races of the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. Tune in tomorrow night when the iRacing Porsche Cup continues with the top split race. That will be at that will be at roughly, I think it's 7:30. And then we've got the ASRC Sports Car Championship as well shortly afterwards. Join us at 2 AM on Tuesday morning for the first round of the Rickmatech Sports Car Series as well, as that great championship continues. We're looking forward to broadcasting Season 2 of that one. Yeah, just getting the final details for Season 2 there, but I'm sure we will let you know if anything changes. Tuesday evening, I should say, is BSR Formula Renault continuing. Thursday is the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, of course, and Friday is a very special race. It's the Billy Whiz fundraiser for Billy Munger. Kia and Porsche around Brands Hatch. That should be fantastic, and we hope that you can join us there as well. Right, thank you everybody for watching. It's been great, and I wish you a very good evening, and well, we'll see you tomorrow for more on here on Apex Racing TV. Good night.